Hello guys, my name is Lena and welcome back, or welcome if you're new to my YouTube channel. If you are new and if you guys are just new to my new kind of theme here that's happening, hi, my name is Elena and I make Christian filmmaking and lifestyle based videos. So if that sounds like your cup of tea, you should definitely go subscribe down below and leave a like so that you can get more content from me. Today I'm just going to be giving you guys 5 ways that you can get closer to God / grow your faith. Alright guys, let's get started. So this first tip is going to be very generic and very kind of just, you've heard this before, but it is just to read your Bible consistently and start trying to study it. So there's a difference between just reading and studying it. So it's just like when you're reading a textbook, you have to actually go in depth and write your notes and write down things to actually get information out of it. You cannot just, usually most of the time, you can't just read a paragraph in a textbook and understand every little word it's saying. You really have to take the time to go into the word and actually figure out what it's trying to say and interpret it, and how you can apply either that passage or that verse to your daily life. But the word is honestly the best way to get closer to God, because the word, it gives the past, it gives the present, and it gives the future. It gives them all in one, because God has always been here since the very beginning, and it's very amazing to see the things he's done and the works that he's done in the Old Testament, and also what he promises in the New Testament. All of his characteristics, all who he says he is, and how he has fulfilled his promises. You want to know what kind of God he is, who he is. He's loving, he's truthful, he's a God of justice. You want to know those things so that you can have a deeper relationship with him. So some tips I recommend by reading consistently is getting Bible plans. I specifically use the YouVersion Bible app to get my Bible plans. I think it's absolutely amazing app, and it has some amazing plans on there. I also love devotionals. I started using devotionals when I was quite young, maybe like as like a preteen / tween. I started using devotionals, and those were really helpful when I was younger to keep track, and also it helped me translate the word into my life, because I would have a hard time doing it myself. And also studying the word, there are study Bibles you can get, and if you are into the artsiness of it, Bible journaling is a very popular way of studying the Bible, and I think it's actually really cool, except that I cannot Bible journal because many reasons that I'll get into another time. The next tip I have is to have prayer times, prayer, but also try to have an ongoing conversation with God. And so this is where you pray, you can have prayer times, but it's also like you're talking to him constantly. When you're in the car, you're praying, having a conversation. When you're at school, you're praying, having a conversation. When it's just kind of an ongoing conversation in your head with God, and you're always making sure that he's a part of your decisions and a part of your next moves and what you are doing, you are really actually getting a lot closer to him, because you are putting your faith in him and putting your life in his hands, instead of having your life and your faith in your own hands and your trust. Because honestly, that is how things just go wrong, is when you do not put your life into God's hands. There's also just normal prayer is very helpful. They don't have to be scheduled, but just making sure you maybe take like an hour a day to just sit down and pray, and that will also help grow the relationship. Because I mean, we have that benefit now of being able to talk to him and having that straight path to him. Ever since that curtain of the temple was torn from top to bottom, which was in Mark 15:38, which was also talked about in all of the Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. They all have their own way of saying it. But ever since Jesus died on the cross for our sins, we were able to feel free to come before God's throne, where there is grace, and there we receive mercy and kindness to help us when we need it, which is Hebrews 4:16 also. So yeah, we have that advantage now. So feel free to just talk to him whenever you need to, because he's always there. It doesn't have to be a complete set, okay, I'm going to go sit down right now, I'm gonna go dim the lights, I'm gonna go sit in prayer position. No, it doesn't have to be all that. It can literally just be having a conversation with him. The next tip is to control what we allow our minds and open our hearts to in this world. Because as we know, Satan lies, and there are tons of lies and negativity in the world, and when we expose ourselves to those lies and to those certain things, we are making growing our relationship with God harder on us. Just social media or listening to certain music and all that kind of stuff. So on social media, you can follow Christian creators, you can follow people who are preaching the word and all of that stuff, and just use it to your own spiritual advantage and not against you. Because when you fall into that trap of the world and all the bad things that it has to offer, sometimes it can definitely alter your relationship with God. Next is to start listening and know who's talking to you. This basically means we need to start listening for the Lord's voice. And this can be hard to find because Satan is trying to get in your head, guys. He is trying to get in there and he's trying to rip you apart because he does not want you to have a relationship with the Lord. So you gotta say no. You gotta say no, Satan. Not today. We ain't doing that today, all right? You gotta kick him out, all right? We gotta stop Satan from getting into our heads and telling us lies and telling us negativity, and instead listen for the voice of the Lord, because Satan is our main enemy in trying to get a relationship with God, because that's the last thing he wants, is for us to have a relationship with him. The more time you spend with God and the closer you get with God, it will be easier to fight off Satan's temptations and Satan's negativity in the world, but that is our main enemy. So definitely start listening, just paying attention to the little things in situations and doors that are open and closed, because that is God responding. That is him responding to certain situations in your life and responding to your prayers. And it's not a one-sided relationship, so you definitely need to be paying attention to things in your daily life that could just be God trying to reach out to you or him trying to talk to you. And an example of like a little thing is this Instagram post that I actually found. I'll put up on the screen, but I thought it was actually really cool because she was talking about, kind of like I said, like a little thing, and it's how the waves and the wind still know his name and still say his name. And maybe it's not something you would notice when you first think about it, but when you really just sit there and listen and just breathe, you know, that's when you find it. So guys, that's all for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave a thumbs up and subscribe down below for more content 3 times a week, and I will see you in the next one.